Good evening, people. Welcome back to the Sick Podcast Anvil Show. We have a lot to talk about tonight. Not only that, but we actually do have, I'm going to say, a special guest with us. Okay, it's the off season. We're going to let some fans in. All right, and we got a special one, a very special one. You know the guy, and if you don't, you're going to get to know him. So make sure you get your popcorn ready. Make sure you get your favorite drink. Whether it be non-alcoholic or alcoholic, drink responsibly. Don't drink under the age of 21. But yeah, let's get to it. Sick Podcast Anvil Show. Sammy, bring us in.
Turn up your volume. Because you're about to listen to the Sick Podcast. Anvil Show.
Intercepted! Marlon Jackson! Marlon's got it! We're going to the Super Bowl! We're going to the Super Bowl! Marlon Jackson with the interception! He picked off Tom Brady!
The sickest Indianapolis Colts podcast. It's gonna be sick.
Yes, sir. It is sick. So right now, the other fellas are having some technical difficulties, so they'll be on. But you know what? In the meantime, you got me. I am CJ. Welcome back to the Sick Podcast Anvil Show. We're going to talk about many things, but before we do, we have to go ahead and just let you know we're going to be doing some episode with some fans, right? It's the off season, best time to make sure that we're connecting with everybody we should be connecting with. So you know what? We're going to, oh, there he is. All right. So we're going to make sure that we go ahead and get connected. And there goes Pat. Pat, what's going on with you? How you feeling?
I'm good. Sorry I'm late. I had a date with a blonde-haired, blue-eyed 4-year-old.
Okay, gotcha. So we are preoccupado. Got it. All right. Well, with that being said, I was just letting the people know we're gonna be start our fan episodes. Start making sure that we have our have the people on because we want to hear from y'all as well. So, with that being said, what's going on, Teresa? What's going on, Chris? First off, make sure that you're liking, commenting, subscribing. Make sure that you are sharing this with everybody. Share with your friends. And you know what? Let's just go ahead. Let's just get straight to it. We have with us, we have our friend. You know him. We know him. You've probably seen him around if you go to the games. A big Colts fan. He, like I said, you can see him at the games. You saw him in Germany this year. We have with us Derrick White, everybody. We have with us Derrick White. What's going on, Derrick?
I am glad to be here. Hello, CJ. Hello, Patrick. How you guys doing today? Thanks for having me on.
Glad we can get you on.
Absolutely, man. Glad to have you. You know what? Like I said, I gave you an intro. But you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna open up the floor. We're gonna go ahead and have you introduce yourself. We're gonna have you just talk about how what got you into the game of football, what made you a Colts fan, and then I'm gonna ask you. Well, I'll wait until afterwards because I want to ask you some questions about your Colts fandom, but we're gonna do that after. So just give the people a brief intro about you, what you do, and then how you came to love football and this team.
Okay. Well, I don't want to go too in depth if you're going to ask some questions of me, but my name is Derrick White. You can find me at DW75 on Twitter. Born and raised in Mississippi. I don't know if you can hear my Southern drawl. I still have some of it. I've been living in the Indianapolis area, Fishers area, since 2012. I became a Colts fan in, I would say, around 1989 or so. And the funny part about it, and I'll go in depth a little bit later on if you want me to, but I didn't have a football team when I was growing up. I loved football, played Pee Wee football and everything. Everybody in my area, they were either a Cowboys fan or they were a Saints fan or a Steelers fan. And my dad, I didn't find this out until I was probably in college that he was a Steelers fan. My mom and dad got divorced when I was young. And so I should be a Steelers fan right now. But I came here. They have a big Bands of America competition every year for high schoolers. And my little town in Grenada, Mississippi, they packed us up on buses, good buses, not the school buses. And they drove us up here. And we played in the Bands of America. And
Omaha him already.
Yeah, and so the Hoosier Dome was here. Omaha, yeah. And the Hoosier Dome was here. And I played drums. My little skinny butt played the biggest drum in the band. And so one of the formations had me standing right on the horseshoe on the 50-yard line. And there's a picture of it, a chevron, a giant chevron with me standing with this giant bass drum on the horseshoe. And so ironically, that's how I started following the Colts. I became a Colts fan because I stood at the Hoosier Dome on the 50-yard line on the horseshoe at a bands competition. And I've been a Colts fan ever since then. True story.
All right. And that's a great beginning to that story. So now I have to ask you for as long as you've been going to these games, right? What is your top 3 Colts moments, or you could just do top 3 Colts games that you've been able to actually be a part of or be able to witness?
Well, I'll say that my first professional game, first Colts game, first NFL game ever was the AFC Championship game, the game before we went to the Super Bowl. So what was it, the 2009 season? 2010. Well, 2010.
No, you're talking about the one that we won against the Bears, or the one against the Saints?
One we won against the Bears.
Okay, so that was
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm going back too far. The one that we lost to the Saints. I'm sorry. That was my first ever football game. First ever game I ever. So I flew up here. We were still living in Mississippi. I flew up here, went to the game, thoroughly enjoyed myself. Got snowed in here for 2 or 3 extra days because I couldn't get a connection to Atlanta because Atlanta was shut down. And so that was my first game ever. I went to that Super Bowl as well. So that's stuck in the back of my mind forever, going to that game, the excitement, and then having to walk out of there, not getting an objective. And I would say probably the third memorable one was when I got to go to Germany this past season. And I got to meet with a lot of people from the Blue Crew Europe. I got to finally meet Clyde in person after, knowing him on Twitter for the longest time. So I would put that in my top 3 most memorable Colts games.
Okay.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yeah.
Complete disaster over here.
What's up, Clyde?
What's going on, man? Complete disaster over here. Okay.
Now, Derek, before Clyde jumps in, starts asking a bunch of weird questions. I know you from the games and outside of a lot of things. So I know a little bit more about you. But you picked up the reins from Colts Caveman as far as sending out items to the fan base all around the world. Can you explain more about that in a little bit more detail than what I just did?
Well, Colts Caveman and I, we've known each other for quite a bit. We communicate, we hang out, we have lunch sometimes. I've been in his cave several times. And he always would give those items out. And I always, every year, would say, hey, man, let me help you. I want to get in on it. But I never did until he told me he couldn't do it anymore. So he was running out of stuff, and he told me his finances were getting a little screwy. So I said, man, I will take it over. So tell me how you pick people. I have a host of stuff here in my man cave that I've collected over the years. And my wife was happy that I got rid of some of it. And so we just randomly pick people. I just put it out there. Hey, any Colts fans living abroad, living too far to come to a game, just DM me and send me your address and I will mail you some stuff. And so I think Rick, he did 100. He sent out 100 of them before he stopped doing it. I think I've sent about 25 or so out. So Colts fans all over the place. Rick is giving me stuff. Other people are just giving me all kind of stuff like, hey, I don't need this stuff. It's extra. Do what you want with it. And so I have quite a bit of stuff piled in here. And I just like randomly ask people on Twitter, hey, send me your address, DM me, and I will send you a few nice things out. Now, I think I got a little bit too aggressive in the beginning. I was sending too much stuff to people. And then I had to kind of dial it back and just send them, 1 or 2 or 3 things just so I would have enough to spread around. So it's just something that I admired Rick for doing. And then when he told me he was going to stop doing it, I just wanted to pick up the reins and keep it going.
Nice. Very nice.
All right. So and I'm going to say now that the gang's all here, welcome in, Clyde. So yeah, that way we can just kind of jump to it. We got a chance to know you, which, by the way, for anybody who hasn't, there's your formal introduction. So now we're going to get to the football stuff. So now, not reactions, because we all know who he is. T.Y. Hilton officially announced yesterday that he's officially retiring from the league.
The ghost.
So I'm going to say yes, very much so. And you know what? My first thought was I didn't realize that he hadn't retired yet. I guess it's just like now was when he finally just went and just hung it up. I want to ask just T.Y. He's had numerous moments, right? But like, what are his? I'm going to say his favorite moment, and then I'm just asking that of everybody right now.
224 yards in Houston is my favorite T.Y. game.
Yeah, Houston's daddy.
I was going to say that too, but almost any game in Houston,
yes,
it's a memorable game for T.Y.
I think they're going to put a statue out in NRG Stadium.
Actually, and his other game would be the wild card game against KC when the great comeback, because T.Y. went nuts in the second half.
Yeah. You know what?
I mean, you can cherry pick his career all day long. That dude was something special.
Yeah. The game where his daughter was born was probably like
that
one was like that man was running on fumes and still managed to get I think like 134 and like a gate like he's had T.Y. is I'm gonna say maybe just like a very underrated wide receiver in Colts history, because even the beginning of his career, like I think he was like top 5 with like most receiving yards in their first 5 years for the longest time before like you have your Jamar Chases and everybody else coming around. So no, it was definitely a very decorated career. So
yeah, he just missed out on 10K. He only had like 9,600, but I was hoping he was gonna get to 10K before he retired.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah. But
now if I can remind everybody, back in the season we had Marlon Jackson come out to the tailgate. And during that event, we had a giveaway, if you will. Anybody that went to his website and donated to his nonprofit would be put in for a jersey. Well, as you all know, if you don't remember reading the post, this man right here, Derrick White, won the jersey. So Derrick,
he did.
You got that jersey by you?
Oh, yeah, I've got it right here.
Come on.
You're making it seem rigged there.
It's definitely rigged. Derek's my favorite, so yeah. We don't rig nothing, you guys.
So Patrick and Marlon and I went to lunch, and he signed it for me right then and there. So
nice.
Marlon is awesome. And speaking of Marlon, I actually volunteered to help out with his foundation, so I got to go and hang out at the airlines up here, their training facility. And so he had like 4 schools come in, and they went through the gauntlet. They got to fly the simulators and all that stuff. So I got to do that yesterday and hang out with him. That was fun.
Awesome. Yeah, we'll be doing some more work with Marlon here in the near future. So you guys just be careful. Not be careful, but be attentive. Keep an eye on us. You all know we move.
Be careful, hilarious.
Yeah, all right, man. Be careful. Be careful.
Wrong word. Sorry.
Let's get into these damn transactions, because I feel like a lot of people have a lot to say, whether it's directly, shots at Chris Ballard, or if it's like, this organization isn't serious, or these guys are just nothing more than practice squad players, so on and so forth. So we'll open the floor. We'll start with this. What is everybody's favorite signing thus far?
I will go with the cornerback room in total. We have been decimated by injuries in that room for so many years now, and now we are busting at the seams with pretty damn good talent. Is everybody going to make it? I don't know, but I like to see they know that's a trouble spot and they're trying to fix it. I absolutely love that.
I think Jalen Jones is the odd man out.
Yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And he's a great kid. And he plays well. And I hate to say you're right, but I think you are right.
Just system fits. But okay, so Pat likes the cornerback room and its totality. All right, Derrick, where you at? What's your favorite?
Oh man, what do I like? I would say you're talking about particular signings this free agency period.
Yeah.
I will say that I liked the fact that they were able to keep Alec, and not let him out the door. And it's not in the contract. I mean, the top of the wide receiver market is at 40 million. I mean, he's not there. He's 28.5. So not a bad signing for him. And I do like the fact that they did finally get Daniel Jones signed to not too bad of a contract, because if you don't sign Daniel Jones, you don't have Alec Pierce, according to Alec Pierce. So, I mean, those were they were expected. They were not off the wall, signings, but they needed to be done.
So it's funny that you say that, because I was going to actually go there. I had no idea, based on, I mean, he said it loosely at the end of the year, Daniel being here, could impact my situation, but I had no idea how much. Like, he was almost like, if you can't guarantee that you're going to get this done, then I can't guarantee I'm going to be here, because he would say that after the fact, because they end up signing kind of like on the same day or whatever. And I was like, holy hell, I had no idea it was that deep rooted. So and the reason why I even bring that up is because that puts out like this, this massive like red alert that is like, Alec, now who is your best, offensive weapon outside of Jonathan Taylor? Is like, I only want to play with this guy. So that really seals the fate for Anthony Richardson, right? Has to. Correct. For all the people in the back of the room.
His fate was sealed. Listen, his fate was sealed when they mutually said that he was going to seek a trade. I was like, at that point, it's just like, he's like, it's not like he was trying to force his way out. And they're just like, wait, hold on. Okay, we'll do something. He's just like, hey, maybe I should look for a trade. And they're just like, oh, well, maybe you should. It's just like he just like at that point, it was, you almost like. It's almost like you try to like force somebody's hand, and then they say, okay, cool. And they're just like, wait, you're not supposed to react like that. You're supposed to push back a little bit.
I mean, I just thought that was very like, sometimes I be looking for things that are kind of like, like, did I hear what I thought I heard? Is that like really what is being said? Because we haven't heard the coaches or even Chris Ballard make this whole like severance of, I guess, abilities with Anthony Richardson. Nobody has really like done it officially, but Alec was more so like, if he ain't my quarterback, then I ain't gonna be here. So to me, it was like it kind of happened second-handedly, if you will, by a player. So I'm like, wow, I took that from all of that, you know what I mean? But that's just that. But anyway, Chris, what's your favorite signing thus far?
Jonathan Owens, because that means that Simone Biles is now a Colts fan. And if we're not going to get anybody else that's worth a damn, then why not just go and get Simone Biles as a fan? Like,
we can't have Taylor Swift. We have Simone Biles. So
yeah, and you know what? Simone Biles is way more palatable. Exactly, Simone is way more palatable. So
we are not about to spam her this season. That's not happening. It's not even an Olympic year. We're not even doing that. Okay.
It don't have to be. She's decorated. Okay. Listen,
y'all are terrible.
She's decorated. No.
Okay. Is Jonathan Owens really your guy?
No.
Okay,
it's like
right.
Honestly, it's only for the simple fact that, like I said, it's just like we didn't really do a whole lot of things worth a damn. I mean, guess Alec Pierce.
Okay. See, all right. I disagree. Not with Alec Pierce. I disagree with it. We haven't done a lot. So I'll say my guy first is Akeem Gaither. Like, I feel like that is the best signing we had, because even though I'm supposed to count Alec, he was technically a free agent. Like, he was in-house, Daniel was in-house. That's something else. But you're right. Those dudes do count. But outside of that, it has to be Akeem Gaither. Like, I'm not saying he's the best coverage guy, but he showed ability. And he definitely is downhill getting to the football, you know what I mean, creating havoc, that type of thing when given the opportunity. Knows Lou again, people are calling us the Indianapolis Bengals for all of his players coming over here. But I feel like he knows exactly what he wants. And, you know, no matter what we think until he's not the DC anymore, I feel like he's going to get exactly what he wants when it comes to the players that come in. So I would have preferred Bobby O. And I'm not saying that's not even going to happen, but I don't know if a reunion is something that, like, I don't know. I don't think that there's any kind of bad blood between him and the Colts, but it's just like sometimes reunions don't happen like you want them to until somebody retires, if it's that type of relationship. So maybe that was never even the fucking cards. I don't know, but I have to like this kid because it signals that we're going to draft linebackers, in my opinion. You know what I mean, to support him, but you had to have a veteran guy. So we didn't get a guy like Devin Lloyd, big time free agent. Quay Walker, another big time free agent. Bobby O got cut. Still wouldn't even mess with our compensatory picks. So we could have picked him up and still not had that. But again, maybe that's not in the cards. But I like this. Now I'll open the floor back up to why I like the rest of everything, and y'all can tell me why y'all don't. And the reason why is this, because Clyde has always said, if you're going to bring depth on my team, make sure that they're experienced players that have proven themselves in games. You know what I mean? They're not just practice squad, jump to jump, or all this Rad's potential from a draft, and you know they never seen the field. At least these guys, when it comes to depth, have played football in meaningful moments. They are just recently removed from starters, most of them, and they've been in multiple games. You know, now Wanye Thomas and whatever, the migraines, that's a whole other thing. But I'm talking about the guys like the D tackles, you know what I mean? Nandi and Tillery, great D tackles to pick up to fight for spots. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm comfortable with those dudes being in the game. Then, you know, we draft a guy in round 7 and ask why, you know, Tim Smith ain't on the field. Why isn't Addy on the field? I mean, that's the way I look at this. That's because that's what we've done for so long. After number 1, there's been none. So I feel like we're fixing that.
I could say that out of all the picks, you're 100% right, except for the one guy they got out of Notre Dame, that basketball player.
Oh, the basketball player never played a down football. I'm not mad at that.
I mean,
I'm not mad at it, but it's not what like Clyde was saying. It's not like all the other picks. Those guys that they have brought in, they're going to fight for a starting spot. And I mean, if they don't get it, now you've got quality starting potential backing up your starters. And Clyde hit it on the head a couple years ago. We have been missing that severely. That's why I'm so excited about this cornerback room, okay? Because it has been the biggest sore that we've had for quite a few years. And now we've got a plethora of talent right there that if someone goes down, someone is stepping up and you can trust it. Yeah. At least right now on paper and watching highlights, you can trust these guys.
The Notre Dame tight end, I wouldn't look too into that. If he even made the roster, he would be like tight end 4 or some shit right now because we re-signed Drew and we re-signed Mo. I think they want to see if he's got the Mo Alley attributes because Mo Alley came out VCU. He's about the same size, 6'8" as well, 6'7" maybe, something like that. You know what I mean? So
he's like 6'8". Like,
yeah. So I think they're kind of like heavily, you know, close as far as their attributes. Now, the rawness, never stepping on the football field, we'll see if he's even able to do those things when it's time. But that signing to me is like whatever. That's just for Twitter to turn into something else. But anyway,
I think it was the only thing that was just kind of weird is like to me personally is having that kind of signing right now. Because the thing is like when you're getting people during this period, you're getting guys that you're potentially going to have filling out a roster. Like right now, with everything else considered, you know, just kind of taking a flyer right now on a 6'8" basketball player that's never played football during this free agency period when I think it's just like, that there's certain things that need to be filled out. Like, I think even at edge, for example, you don't have a starting edge opposite Latu right now. So it's like, like, I don't know. It was just a very, very weird signing because it's just kind of like it's out the blue. But there goes look, Travis went and used that word. I hate that word. I hate that word. Depth.
It's
Depth
important.
I hate no. Enough's enough. All right.
If you don't have
okay. All right. Nope. Here's
what?
where you're about
that
to
is what killed us.
Gloves off.
Nope, we're not. Nope. Gloves off. Listen.
What?
Depth should be banned from being used by this team, by this organization, by the front office. Because I'll tell you, more often than not, that depth that we always talk about, that we always mention, somehow finds their way into the starting lineup.
So CJ, you don't want the word depth on the back of the helmets or on the cleat, my cleats, or in the infield. You want to put ban depth.
My cleats is fine.
You put ban depth. Okay, on my claws, my cleats. I got you.
When you told me
we got our T-shirts for kids.
That's the wrong D word. That's the wrong D word that needs banning. The D word that needs banning is development. That's the word that's got us in trouble.
Depth needs to be banned because there's no reason
has gotten us in trouble, bro.
No, because
draft.
Because you know what we do? Chris Ballard will go and he will grab an edge from Wyoming A&M University, and then he'll be like, "Oh yeah, this guy is depth." And somehow by game 2 of the regular season, he finds his way into the starting lineup. And then when the guy is an absolute mop for the entire season, he's going to be like, "I saw some good things out of him." You weren't supposed to. He's depth.
You're looking at it in the wrong light, because what he does in that same exact scenario, it says this kid is raw scores, is this and this, but he needs development. And then that's how he sees the field. That's what happens. And then that's all bad for us. Development has to be just in that term for us.
Yeah, you can't say depth and development in the same sentence.
Development has ruined me over the last 5 years, because every guy we haven't, honestly, outside of maybe Tyler Warren in the last 5 years. Let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, in the last 5 years, maybe outside of Tyler Warren, because now Jonathan Taylor's in year 6. Like, every dude that's seen the field had that nobody was ready. You get what I'm saying? Like, everybody had to be like, oh, this level of development. I can't take that shit no more. Draft guys that have the ability to play day one. And instead of using the word development, they're just improving. Not that, oh, yeah, well, this dude, he never really played in this type of system, so he doesn't understand this. He can't see this. We need him to develop here. Like, I'm done with that. The Anthony Richardson experiment killed the word development for me.
Okay,
blow that shit up.
Fair. That's fair.
Blow it up.
When I'm talking about depth, I'm talking about when Chris Ballard does his annual bargain bin shopping and goes to practice squads and gets cornerbacks and D linemen, and he says, "Oh yeah, it's just like these are just depth pieces. This is creating depth. This, that, and the other." And somehow, some way, they find their way in. Like, for me, depth was an issue when you decided in free agency to get Raekwon Davis, who nobody heard of, but we knew that Miami went and let Christian Wilkins go, and Raekwon Davis was the only D tackle on the roster, and they said, "Oh, we can afford to let him go too." And that was the 1 out of 2 signings that we had in free agency.
Oh yeah,
like this is the
that
thing,
was awful.
Man. Most Colts fans, Chris, you're showing this a lot right here. Most Colts fans are like that saying, "A hit dog will holler." Y'all have to stop living in that time period, even if it was last season, because you know what? Every year is a fresh start, and if he has looked at depth differently, give the man credit. Give him credit. These dudes have started. Tillery was a first round draft pick. Nandi has played in 3 Super Bowls or whatever. Like, these dudes have been on the field. Okay, they've lit like Cam Taylor been on the field, starter. Like, I have to really appreciate what's happening right now, because even though these are not sexy signings as far as like the top guys, they make sense. Arden Key, another one, plenty of starts, plenty of playing time. You know what I mean? Clemens, he's kind of a goofball, but he's been on the field. He's a 4th rounder or some shit like. But these dudes have played. That's all that I care about. Because to your point, our depth has been dudes that he's seen like, you know, on 56th Street just jogging. Hey, you want to come to the Philly and try out? Sure.
Come on in.
We'll give you a jersey. We'll give you a JV number this week. Your number 73. I don't know. Like, who are these dudes? Right? You know what I mean? Like, we didn't even know who Cameron Mitchell was. Like, we was like, who the hell is 43 starting at the slot? Who is this guy? It's shit like that. It's like, that's got to stop. So he's improving that. He's improving that. And I'm going to give him, you know, his due. He's also showed his hand, though. And to your point with the edge, and we could talk about that, the edge to me was and only Trey Hendrickson. Didn't land him. Now you got to go to the drawing board. So is there a way to pivot from the Trey Hendrickson thing this offseason, or do we have to go into 47 and take one of those potential Raz guys? God, I don't want to do that at 47. Go ahead, Derek. Is there another guy? Is there another guy we can get in this offseason? Is basically what I'm saying. Free agent or trade that you would like to come in and be a starting edge for Latu to be able to have his ability to do his thing.
So you don't trust JTT over there?
Hell no. Listen, JTT's a great kid. Great kid, right? I never want that to, like, he's Ohio State, I'm Michigan, got nothing to do with that. But Lou, in my opinion, it wasn't just because he was a rookie, but in my opinion, there's something that's not translating right now. I feel like JTT might play more inside than true edge, in my opinion. Just my thoughts. But something's not translating there. Just off of usage, and just it's just weird how that situation was.
He didn't see the field a lot last year, which was real surprising.
But Lou I won't say that. Lou doesn't play rookies heavy. We will say that. But at the same token, I just still feel like there was too many healthy scratches. Even if you're not going to play the kid, at least suit him, right? Like, he had a lot of healthy scratches. So it's like that kind of weird dynamic. So I don't think that that's the starting edge. If I had to choose one today, Derek, the starting edge over there is probably, man, I don't know. It might be Clemens, dude. Or Arden Key. They both have started in the past. Yikes.
You know
anyway,
what?
This is Derek.
You're not giving me hope.
Go back to my original question. I don't want to go down a dark well. Is there somebody that you like?
No, we're there. The well is dark.
In free agency or via trade that could start outside of Latu? On the other side, I mean.
Oh, man. If you're thinking the first pick, I'm thinking linebacker.
Me too.
So,
right?
Yeah, there's a couple good ones.
And you're not going to take Romello Height at 47 because that's way too early. So he's one of those tweeners, linebacker edge thing, but you're not going to take him at 47. You're not going to take Sutton out of Penn State at 47. That's too high as well. The only 47 edge that's there, if it happens, is your boy, Zion Young. That's the only one, Chris.
You don't think Hill will be there?
No, Anthony Hill's a linebacker. We're talking about edge.
Yeah, we're talking about edges.
Oh, I thought we was on linebacker. I'm sorry.
No, because I'm saying at 47, I would love, like Derek said, to select a bona fide linebacker. Very, very deep, class for linebackers, but it's ones that I have ranked higher than others. But I'm saying at 47 as a need, I think that we still might go and try to hunt an edge to get lucky. My thoughts are edges, traditionally, if they are those ones, they're gone in the first round.
Yeah.
I'm not saying you can't play edge beyond round one, but we need a dude that's no kidding ready to play day one. Not all we got to still his band.
So are we out of Grenard completely?
No, that's the guy I want. I don't think so. But
let Sauce Gardner lock him up in the basement.
Yeah, Sauce, go get him.
Do what you got to do. It worked for Alec. Try it with Jonathan. Like that's I don't have a problem.
Man, he had an injury last year, so he didn't.
Well, he's perfect for us then.
You know what, Derek? See,
go get him.
That's all I've been seeing on Twitter.
We got to screen these guests better.
We bring in the hurt dudes. That's what everybody been saying on Twitter. If you're hurt, sign them. Golly, no, he was. I mean, I think it was a shoulder Correct me if I'm wrong, Chris. Was it shoulder last year?
Kidding aside, I'd love to have him.
Who, Grenard?
Yeah, Grenard. I think he had a shoulder.
I believe it was, yeah.
Okay. We're familiar with this guy. He played in Houston for a few years. I mean, since he's been with Brian Flores, he's absolutely flourished. Back-to-back 12 and a half sack seasons. The dude's the one thing that people, I think, sometimes don't prioritize out of your edge is, yes, I need you to put pressure the ball, but can you also play in the run game? Trey Hendrickson, for everything that he is, he would have been miserable in the run game. He's not good in the run game if you watch Trey's tape. So that was the one, caution I always kind of had to the win was like, if we get this guy, what do we do in definite rundowns, right? Like, does he come off the field? Probably not, but he's going to be putrid. But Grenard is a dog. Like 58 is a dog. Like if you have not watched his film, go watch his film, bro. In limited time last year, he is an animal, dog. Like, so look, man, I don't know. That 3rd round pick, I would package that shit up and be like, here, dog, you can have this 3rd round pick in 2026. Maybe throw him something next year for kicks and giggles, and go ahead and run me my edge of the foreseeable future. So I'm with you on Grenard, but outside of Grenard, Derek, I don't know. It's rough.
It's not a lot. It's just the well really, like the well wasn't that good to begin with, just because of where the free agent class was. I think right now the best option that you have is potentially trading for Grenard.
Yeah.
And then there's a big drop off. Yeah. And then you maybe take a flyer on Joey Bosa, but I don't even think you do that at this point.
IU.
Yeah, there's not like, honestly, but that's where we are. Like that's where we are right now, because we don't know what this is going to look like.
That boy get hurt on the flight over here.
We'll have to get a player in the draft and developing.
No.
Omaha!
What? I felt left out.
Bullshit. No, we're not doing that. So that's what I'm saying, man. Like 47 is such a valuable pick because it's our priority pick. You know what I mean? But at the same time, like, there's so many ways you can go with that. We know there's a very deep receiver class, there's a very deep linebacker class. So I feel like if I'm weighing those two, I'm going to prioritize linebacker first, because we know that that's a position of need. So, but then there is the action that we haven't done enough in free agency on the other edge, that people are still looking at edges at 47. And it bothers me because that guy's a project for a team that needs to win now. I need to be able to unlock my other guy, which is Latu, which we know it can be a bona fide star, but he just needs somebody to just pretend like they can pressure from the other side. Just pretend you can do it. Then maybe I'll have a career year type thing. So we can't neglect that, man. And I just, with round 3, I know, Chris Ballard loves his picks. He'll tell you that till he's blue in the face. But like Chris has pointed out, year after year, there's so many of those guys that don't even make the roster. The whole 21 team? Is it a 21 draft?
21 draft, I think. Yeah, 21.
All of them gone. Every single one.
2023 is about to look the
23,
same way, because right now I think if AR was to be traded, then you have Josh Downs and Jalen Jones, and that's it. And the thing is, right now, you don't even know what's going to happen with Jalen. Like, so, and that's another insane. One. Like,
that's insane.
Like the fact that we're at this stage where it's just like, that you deal with a GM that frequently likes to trade down and get more picks, and you realize that these picks aren't even here to end the season sometimes. Right. That's where it's just like, all right, at this point you got to pivot, because you need to turn this into, hey, we need to be able to do something with this roster, or be able to try to find another way, because you're filling out this roster only for the draft, only going into training camp, and then by the end of the season you've done the exact same thing with letting all these guys go. Like Jonah Lualu is a name that I'm going to bring up forever, because he was a 7th round pick for us in 2024. They don't use him. The year we get Raekwon Davis, he was a bum. And then you go and you let him go over to the Raiders, and he starts producing over at the Raiders immediately as a rookie. So what is it that you didn't see that this team or that this other team saw and was actually able to get something out of it? And that's where I'm like, no more late picks. If you trade down, you better be getting picks for next year to stock up. I don't care, because clearly it's not going to work out for this year.
If you're in year 3 to 5 and you're already clearing out rosters, like complete drafts off your rosters, what I'm trying to say, like there's a major problem. Like there's a major problem there. And I that's kind of eye-opening, like, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, man. Think about it, bro. Like you can't miss that bad. That's a whole draft that's a wash. like what? I don't even know, man. So yeah, that ain't even nothing that I want to, because again, we know this is Chris Ballard's last year of his contract. Most people want him gone. Matter of fact, Derrick, how do you feel about that?
Wait a minute. Let me take my headphones off.
Are you ready for Chris gone or what?
Well, let me flip this back to you. So, who do you think is currently running the franchise right now?
Like running it? I think it's Chris Ballard.
And maybe it's the conspiracy theorist in me, or maybe it's the business person in me, but I kind of think Carly has pulled the reins a little bit, just slightly, on what he can and can't do.
Okay.
Yeah, in that sense. For sure. So I don't think he has a free-for-all like he usually has. It seems a little bit different this year, because why would she want to let somebody who's in the last year of his contract, a lame duck GM, totally go all out and try to save his job and put the franchise in a bad place? I think and I could be wrong, I just think that they did a 30,000-foot view and said, hey, this team is quite empty. We're probably not going to win much this year. And we're going to have a new GM. Do we stock up and spend a bunch of money, or do we just kind of wait it out and see? And another question one more question on top of that. What would it take for Ballard to get an extension during the season?
AFC Championship.
So you would think he would have to wait that long?
Oh, fuck yeah.
So if they started out like gangbusters 8-0 like they did last season, you think he still would not get a?
No.
Okay. Well, because let's be real, like we started out 8-2 last season, and we still went to 8-9 like we did the season before. So I mean, clearly, however you felt about how good the team did, it still wasn't good enough for you to get over that hump. Like, I think, like, at this point, you have to prove that you can get further than this number that you've been at, where you were just over 500 in the last 2 seasons. You were just under 500, and there's been no in between. Like, the best year that you had outside of that was what, Phillip Rivers? And I mean, even then, that was back in 2020.
So this is what I think, you know, and it supports both of what you're saying, but I don't even think it highlights the Chris Ballard thing, because you mentioned lame duck. She understands that she doesn't have to fire Chris Ballard now. She can literally just part ways like they did with Gus Bradley, you know, when Jim was still around. I think the guy that's truly on the seat is Shane Steichen.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, she is not a head coach of any sort, but I think that she has learned how to be a part of what's going on the field, to be able to maybe go upstairs and do her own Madden board and be like, it was 3rd and 3 right here, and we threw the ball 35 yards and didn't get it. And then it was 4th and 3, and then we gave it an inside draw to Jonathan Taylor, and you got stuffed. I don't know if that's a good coach. I feel like she's learning that type of nuance, because it's like, I feel like that's the position that she wants to be able to speak highly to, and what she's looking for if and when there's a new GM and that GM is like, hey, these are the guys I want to interview, right? Because she's still got to be the person that writes the check. I've been calling it, she's got to open her Birkin. She opened her Birkin for Danny Dimes and paid him all that bonus money. So when she brings in a new GM and he's like, okay, I'm not a Shane Steichen guy, she can be like, cool, neither was I. Now who we're going to hire, she's going to input the things she's been learning on the sideline. Like, I need a coach to be able to, you know, see the game like this or do it like this. She reminds me a lot of Cameron Diaz on what was that, Any Given Sunday? Yeah. Like, she reminds me a lot of her, bro. Like, and so I think that's kind of where that's at. But yeah, he can't he can't earn an extension during the season for sure. And like I said, AFC Championship would be like, all right, I see your vision. But that's also because other things have happened. Because you're right, all these moves have been safe. 2-year Daniel Jones deal with all these void years. You can come off that contract right away. Boom, get that out of here. You got like 6 priority free agents next year. JT, Q, few others that, their contract, Grove, Kenny, Defoe, all their contracts are up. But with a new guy coming in, do they want to move on because those guys are aging or whatever? Like, it all lines up perfectly to do something in the offseason of 27. It really does. Plus, we'll have almost 200 million, almost 200 million, or over 200 million, right?
No, it's gonna be close to, if you don't sign any of those guys, it's going to be a lot more likely that you're probably going to end up being maybe like over 200 million at that point, assuming that you don't sign anybody.
Yeah, because I think it's sitting at like, you're right. I think it's sitting at like 190 or something like that. But still, I mean, now that new GM got to come in and he gets to build a whole new roster. You still don't have that first round pick in 27, but that's okay because perhaps maybe the quarterback class is good enough that you can find a second round guy, or you'd be like, fuck it, that's all right. 28 is right around the corner. Another good class for quarterback. So, yeah, I feel like it's a good situation if there's going to be a reboot. But even if he gets extended, I think it's short. I don't really know what GMs get, but it won't be another 6-year deal or whatever it was. Can't be.
Honestly, I like the thing, just because of how long he's been here and what he hasn't necessarily been able to truly achieve or to achieve consistently. I think at that point, I don't think that there's anything that will make you believe that he would be able to get even like a 1 year, because I mean, you've been able to audition for 10 years for the same position, and it just has not been, you haven't been successful. And, like I said, whether it's a circumstance of losing somebody prematurely that was a part of your plans or whatever it was, you at some point or another, you can't use that as an excuse. You have to be able to adapt. You have to be able to show like, hey, part of my work is going to be me being able to overcome this because now I'm at a deficit. So, I mean, honestly, it's just like I think if this season is another 9-8 season, even if you make the playoffs at 9-8, you can't keep him.
No, hell no.
I think the only way he truly saves his job is winning the Super Bowl.
Ooh, that's coming from
a man.
That's call him a parental.
I wasn't going that far, but
that's just the way I see it. I mean, 10 years of substandard win-loss record doesn't cut it.
Did you say substandard for your daddy?
I did.
It doesn't.
I've told you all before. I absolutely love Chris Ballard, but I cannot defend his record. Nobody can.
Yeah.
So,
he has some bad breaks, some bad luck, but you're right. Yeah, you can.
The truth of the matter is 10 years, no division title.
That's wild.
But 2 playoff appearances, one playoff win. You've had a lot of setbacks, but to your point, Chris, you have to adapt. You have to overcome. Everybody else does. Why can't we?
Yeah. Absolutely. We've seen teams go from top 5 in the draft to in the playoffs the following year. Like, I mean, we saw it the last 2 years. We saw the Patriots, no matter the circumstance, we saw the Patriots in the Super Bowl after being absolute trash the year before. And then we saw the same thing with the Commanders, where the Commanders were picking top 5, and then they went to the NFC Championship. Like, it's not like there's not examples of teams who have been able to turn it over pretty quickly. But for us to be in the state that we're in and not even sniffing a playoff since 2020, I mean, it's just at this point, like, what are we doing?
So I think, this is the hard part with this situation, man, because everything you're saying is right. Nobody gets a pass, no moral victories. But when it comes to this situation, one thing that people forget is when you even look at yourself, you even like evaluating yourself. How often? No, that's the wrong way to say it. How quickly are you able to pivot from a belief system that you have or a philosophy to get a different result? Like and again, 10 years, 5 years, 1 year, 2 minutes, 3 months, whatever. That's not the answer I'm looking for. But I'm saying, like, people forget that when they're evaluating others. he had a philosophy and he had a position to be able to utilize that philosophy because Jim Irsay allowed him. And he stuck to his guns. That does not absolve him from all of his failure. But when we look at our own selves, like how many times have you kept hitting your head on the wall before you're like, this ain't working, whether it's your job, whether it's your goals, whatever, because that's just a human thing. And we are able to point that out a lot more when it's not us, especially when somebody has a position like him because he's running a football team. But I mean, if you believe that you have a way of doing something, you want to see that through. And I hate to say it, we just gave him too long to see it through.
Yeah, but now I get to come to the defense of Dad.
Oh, shit.
Yes, because you mentioned we were banging our heads. But how much of that is coaching?
No, we're not doing this, Pat.
Yes, we are doing this because we seen Frank Wright not make any adjustments. How many times did we see Gus Eberflus stay in a cover 2 when he shouldn't be? How many times did we see Gus not make one single adjustment?
But if you have
that's where we're banging our head. It's not about the talent that this man finds.
Yes, it is.
It's about the coach.
I think it's the talent, and you can't adjust. You can only adjust the ingredients around so much before you get the same casserole. So that's all I can say.
There's a lot of ways. There's a lot of ways to bake a chocolate chip cookie, but there is a cookie that you stand. You know what I mean?
And to speak to what you're saying, Clyde, I get what you're saying, but this is a man who sat in a press conference on a live and said, "I have a certain way that I do things, and if it gets me fired, then so be it."
That's my point.
Yeah. And so the thing is this is the NFL. The NFL is rapidly changing on a year-to-year basis. And if you are not changing with the league, then it will leave you behind. Chris Ballard, the way that he constructs teams, the way that he goes about some of his team building, the way that he views guys, it's kind of lost him. The same way Gus Bradley. Everything passed him by because of the fact that he was trying to replicate a defense that was dominant back in 2012, 2013, where now defenses aren't moving the exact same way. So you have to be able to adapt. And he to me, is not adapted. Now, if we want to talk about coaching, we could talk about coaching as well. But once again, Chris Ballard is responsible for the things that Chris Ballard has done. And he said he is going to do things the Chris Ballard way, and he doesn't have a need to change things because he feels his way is the way that works, even if it doesn't.
So see, okay, I know we're in that last 10 minutes. This is the part that I disagree with. Bill Polian is a Hall of Fame GM, but Bill Polian did shit his way for years. Bill Polian, outside of drafting probably 3 to 4 studs on defense his whole time in Indy. His whole time here, he always bought in, a little bargain piece here, a little bargain bin piece here. We thought Corey Simon was a massive deal. Corey Simon played great football for us, but we thought that was like, oh my God, we just got, I don't even know, Aaron Donald. I was like, no, Corey Simon is Corey Simon. The moral of the story is he had a philosophy too, put it all on offense, and he had Peyton Manning. And when Peyton
that's
Manning,
the point. Yeah, Peyton Manning.
He kept failing and failing and failing and failing. You know what I mean? We were winning in the regular season, but we were not getting it done in the postseason. And I'm not saying both of these things are the same or even close, but I'm just saying another GM had a philosophy, but he just had a Hall of Fame player to run his philosophy. You know what I mean? Because he did nothing for the defense. And we had cover 2 soft shells. That's the whole thing with the Indianapolis Colts. And Derrick, you've been watching for a long time, even though you're not an Indy native. We have never been a physical program since the inception into Indianapolis. We've always been a finesse squad, a hitter here, like Bob Sanders or something like that, but never been like smash mouth, punish you. This is what we do. They're going to have a tough defense. They play this. We ain't never been that ever. So to change this whole thing, we need a new GM that's going to say, I'm going to build it from the ground up, and I'm going to lock in on us changing our finesse look. We've been finesse for almost 40 years in Indy, or over 40 years in Indy. Nasty work. Everything is finesse, man. Cover 2, cover 3. We just want to pressure you on the edge and fall back to a zone, come up and tackle you. Like, nah, man. No, it's time to change all of that. So that ain't Chris Ballard, that ain't Bill Polian, it wasn't Ryan Grigson. He was building the monster, pause, whatever that means.
Yeah, the monster, that's right.
Nasty work. Nasty work.
Chopping wood.
Chopping wood.
Climbing mountains.
Come on, man.
Like,
all the sayings have been nasty work, man. I'm just tired
go
of
1-0 every week.
Go 1. See, 1-0 I liked because it kind of got you like a reset. But Frank had to go 1-0 because he was usually 1-5. So he had to catch up. You know what I mean? Like, it was shit like that. Anyway, man, I don't know. Now he's about to bring Carson Wentz to the Jets. Holy shit. I don't even know what we're doing anymore, bro. Like, the NFL is just wild to me at times. But being a Colts fan over the last decade has been the wildest time from I mean, y'all seen it. Jeff Saturday being a head coach midseason, Phillip Rivers off the shelf last season to push us to the play. What? This isn't real shit. Like, people who have real these don't do shit like that. So we got to get together, man.
We're kangaroo court. This is a kangaroo court. I'm telling you right now.
What's that show? Was it Captain Kangaroo? We used to watch that.
Captain Kangaroo, yeah. Hey. Can I ask you guys a quick question just to lighten the room up?
Yeah.
What you got, man?
So who will be the week 1 starter at quarterback? And okay, the part 2 of the question. If it's Daniel Jones week 1 starter as quarterback, who are we going to see? Are we going to see Indiana Jones or are we going to see Daniel freaking Jones? Which one?
Honestly, at this point, because we don't know whether or not Daniel Jones is going to start, you're going to be starting at quarterback week 1. We don't know if he's going to be healthy to start. You will be starting at quarterback week 1 right now.
Has anybody ever had double Achilles surgeries at the same time? That'll be me. Double Achilles.
I've had a single Achilles. How you blow both of them? We got to hear that story.
You put me in there double, they're gonna both be gone when I take off running.
Oh, I see. If you go out there, no, yeah. I'm gonna take option 3. We're gonna see DJ. DJ is the person he has the ability, but he's got to relearn how to play. So he's gonna be in between. I don't think he'll be terrible, but he won't be Indiana Jones either. He's gonna be in the middle of those. Because, I mean, you got to learn how to deal with the scar tissue, pain, getting through each week of practice. Because right now he's working hard just to get back to play. But then it's football, right? Then it's football. And you got your normal aches and pains. So I think we're going to need about a month. We're going to have to rely heavily on run games and, like, real simple stuff. Because if Shane Steichen comes back out here and gives him the full playbook from 25 off of that surgery in week 1, then he really needs to be fired because you can't do it all. You just got to progress yourself back into that. You know what I mean? That's high level stuff, like keeping the ball on this or showing this look and doing, like, you can't do all that week 1, bro. Come on. You know what I mean? But anyway, that's how it is.
What you think, Pat?
Week 1, I think it's going to be Daniel. I do.
For $50 million, like Chris Tucker said, for $60 million, I'm crazy. It better be Daniel. Shit.
He said he wanted $50 million a year. He got it.
He got it.
Clyde brings up a great point. Which one are we going to get? How
DJ.
hard is it? How hard is he hitting this physical therapy?
No, he's doing that.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah.
But my concern is him trying to do too much. That's my biggest concern.
There's a lot of variables in it. I don't think they're going to allow him to do too much, especially training camp, things like that. I think they'll keep the reins on him pretty hard just to make sure he's 100% going into week 1. So
but then he's playing catch up, which I think he's fine mentally. Don't have to worry about that. But when you don't have the reps, we know that. Don't matter who.
Well, he'll be out there. He'll be throwing.
No. But I'm talking about the reps as far as, like, going through it all. Throwing is he didn't hurt his arm.
11 on 11s.
Yeah, he hurt his lower body.
Preseason work. Yeah, I get it. But
getting his win.
I think they hold him back really hard until week 1. I think. Oh, geez, you perverted son of a gun! I tell you. Anyways, I think he'll have some struggles. First couple of games. If that's the case, but we'll see.
Chris, what's your thoughts before we get out of here? I'll let you do your wrap.
I said what I said. Derrick is going to be starting week 1.
All right.
Because because like I said,
Derrick's going to play this Nick Foles,
like,
throw one, get tackled, and get hurt.
You know what? Because the thing is, it's we said it before, and just to kind of make it brief, Daniel Jones' best attribute as a quarterback is his mobility. And right now, the one thing that you are counting on him being able to do is being able to run on Achilles in an abnormally quick time period, coming off of one of the most major leg injuries that you could possibly have. So, I mean, right now, week 1, put Derrick out there because Daniel Jones, like I said,
you mean Riley? You mean Riley?
No, I said what I said.
The one, to your point, the one concern that we did have, literally before we wrap up, is he was already not really pushing the ball as far as maybe we wanted him to, and that was with 2 healthy legs. A lot of those, passes to Alec Pierce last year, we seen he had to slow up, adjust, because they were coming up a little shallow. So coming off of Achilles surgery, power in your hips, power to your legs, power to your feet. Hey, man, is that deep ball going to suffer?
And it was always he already had a little bit of a tough time because the deep ball kind of hung a little bit. He doesn't have the strongest arm, so I mean, like I said, it's just like if I see that thing floating up there, I'm going to be like, y'all need to put Derrick in there. So yeah, so with that being said, well, before we do that, because my bad, shout out to the chat because everybody's been commenting. So shout out to Chris, shout out to Teresa. Shout out to Steven, Stacy, Kim. Well, we got Kevin, Travis. Travis been going crazy in the chat all day, so that's crazy. Shout out to O. Big O was in here for a second. Shout out to Flex. Also shout out to Jacob. Yeah, like it literally. So that was crazy. But hey, please bring up all the handles for us. And Derrick, we appreciate you coming on because like I said, we definitely want to make sure that they give back. Tell the people where they can find you on social media, please.
You can find me at DEEDUB75. That's DDub75. And I appreciate you guys having me on. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Derrick.
Yes.
Find me at Colts Forge on X.
There's so many reasons why you have to change that now, but I'm not going to air out your dirty laundry.
Anyway, my dirty laundry is your dirty laundry.
Find me. Well, you can find me at Colts Clyde on X.
Yeah, you can find me at CJ Colts fan on Twitter.
X.
No, on Twitter.
There's no Twitter.
There is Twitter. There is Twitter.
I don't call it X.
Hey, matter of fact, hey, when Elon's punk ass decides that he wants to fix spaces, then we can go ahead and call it. We can call it whatever he likes to. We can call it Bunny Rabbit if he wants to.
I'm going to get Elon on as a guest. You can just tell him.
Go ahead, get him as a guest. Get him as a guest, so he can give you a formula for Grok 3.
Can we close?
Yeah, there you go. Yes.
Can we close?
So then, all right,
CJ, I love your energy, man.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it, Derrick. This is what I got to deal with week in and week out. Pat's on X. Clyde's in here doing whatever he does, and then so
you're the sane one.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Look, he's a motivator.
He's the irrational one this whole show.
He has me ready to play quarterback. He's got me pumped up.
My point.
And if anybody else noticed this, let me know. And chat, you guys let me know too. But every time Chris goes up and touches his earpiece, I think breaking news coming from. Every time he does it, I keep thinking he's getting ready to say, "We've got breaking news coming in."
No, we don't. You want to know why? Because Chris Ballard's our GM. We will never get good breaking news.
Shit. Can we? You know what?
So then, and you know what? And as a matter of fact, hey, back to this thing about Derrick being QB. Hey, Derrick, are both your Achilles intact?
They are now, but
well, here we are. So yes, and you know what? And for everybody viewing, you can actually see the rewind of this episode on every Wednesday. So next Wednesday, you'll be able to see the rewind of this episode on Z103.com as well as Mix 105. You can, or if you go to Z103.com, you can actually listen online from your web browser, or you can actually download the app. It's in the Google Play Store or in your Apple Store, so you can download that app. And then on Mix 105, make sure you're following them on Facebook. And then I believe you can listen on there as well. And if you go to Visit Indy, you can actually scan this QR code where you can see everything going on in the Indianapolis area, restaurants, major events, concerts, festivals, especially since it's getting warmer. There's going to be a lot of things coming up. So make sure that you scan that QR code, download Visit Indy, make sure that you see what's going on in the Indianapolis area. And yeah, also for youth football camps, the camp with Josh Downs is currently postponed. We'll get some information once we get some information updated, but that will be postponed. So make sure that, we go ahead and let you know. Other than that, also, Teresa, we love you. I see you. Okay, I see you. We appreciate you. Okay, so yeah. But other than that, that's it for us. That's it for me.
Stop trying to be favorites, man. All right, man. Look, I'm sorry that I was late. I don't know what was going on with my power situation. I got braces in now, so I'm learning how to talk again. I'm lisping and wisping and all that other stuff. So appreciate
you got braces.
Y'all.
You weren't in a coma.
Appreciate y'all sticking with us. Like we said last week, we're trying to bring on guests weekly. So please hit us up in our inboxes. Tell us what you want to talk about. Derrick, we appreciate you again.
Thank you, guys.
I don't have any buttons.
I know. I didn't do that. I guess that's Sammy telling us.
I didn't.
Sammy, take it home.
Sorry.
And that's a wrap. Hope you don't miss us too much until next time. Follow the Sick Podcast and Bill Show on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Google Play, and Apple Podcasts.